Happy Thursday, teachers and scholars. We're going to just relax and have a terrific Thursday.
Good morning, Scenic Hills Elementary students and staff. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, invisibility, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the Bobcat affirmation. Bobcats are powerful. I think positively. Positively, I take ownership of my actions. I make wise choices. I I'm excited about new learning. I will reach my goals. I forgive others and myself. I'm understanding of difference. I'm a leader. I'm a Bobcat. You may be seated for a moment of silence. This has been Cedric Johnson from Mr. Kane class. Remember, at Scenic Hills School, every student counts and every moment matters. Stay tuned for the Bobcat broadcast.
Now, every day, all of the Bobcats within our Scenic Hills School should strive to display our foundational values. In order to do this, you must think about the 3R approach, which is to be respectful, be responsible, and to always be ready to learn. In today's classroom spotlight, we would like to shine a light on our grade 1 scholars. Just take a look at this list line in the hallway on yesterday. I came out of my office. I didn't even know they were in the hall. All of these scholars were standing on their block in the hall. If you look closely, you will see that this line, it goes all the way down the hall, to Miss Barrow's classroom. So from Miss Jeans's kindergarten classroom all the way down the hall to Miss Barrow's classroom. And the teacher, they were in the hall with Miss Ford. This is Miss Ford and Miss Somerville's first grade class. They did not make a sound. It was phenomenal and an excellent example of what it means to be respectful, responsible, and ready in our hallway. First grade scholars, I cannot tell you how proud I am of the way that you behaved in the hallway on yesterday. Miss Ford didn't have to say anything to you. I did not know that you were outside of my office door. That is what we expect from every scholar when you are in the hallway, because you never know what people are doing inside of the rooms just beside you, right next door to you. If I couldn't hear them, I know that our kindergarten scholars could not hear them either, as they were in the rooms working courageously, concentrating, and they weren't distracted by noises inside of the hall. So scholars, this is just a reminder that this is the expectation when you are in the hallway. Excellent, excellent way to model what it looks like. Our grade 1 scholars, thank you, Miss Ford, and our grade 1 scholars, thank you, Miss Somerville, because you have worked so hard that our scholars do it on their own. Bobcat scholars, it is time for us to commit to 3. So let's say our 3GC Literacy Pledge together. I promise to read each day and each night. I know it's the key to growing up right. I'll read to myself. I'll read to a crowd. It makes no difference if silent or loud. I'll read at my desk at home and at school, on a beanbag or bed by the fire or pool. Each day that I read puts smarts in my head, 'cause brains grow more thoughts the more they are fed. Come rain or come shine, snow, wind, or sleet, each day of the week, reading's a treat. So I take this pledge to make reading my way of feeding my brain what it needs every day. We don't have any birthdays today, but tomorrow maybe we'll have a birthday or two. See you soon. Good morning, scholars and staff. Today we will have our third fire safety educational announcement for the 2021-2022 school year. Please let me have your undivided attention as we will view this important fire safety information. Fire safety starts in school. Recently, the country has experienced an increasing number of fires this winter in our forests and in buildings that have resulted in an enormous loss of lives and property. Our hearts go out to the fire victims in Philadelphia, Baltimore, the western states, and right here in the Mid-South. Although it is difficult to predict when and if you will experience a fire at school or at home, there are several precautions that we can take to prevent or lessen the effects. Fires can occur at any time from several locations within a school building, and in the event of a fire, following the building evacuation procedures, which are our fire drill procedures, is the most effective way of staying safe. However, there are more home fires in the winter than any other season, and half of all home heating fires happen in December, January, or February. That's this month, scholars. And during the cold winter season, many people turn to space heaters, which I have a picture of a space heater in the top left-hand corner right there, or fireplaces for additional warmth. Unfortunately, though, scholars, the improper use of these heating sources increases the possibility of a fire in your home. So as you stay cozy and warm this winter season, we must be fire smart. So let's listen to these tips so that we can learn how to be fire smart this winter season. Precaution number 1. To be fire smart, this precaution has 3 steps. Step number 1 is to install smoke alarms and carbon monoxide alarms on every level of your home, as well as inside and outside of the places that you and your family sleep. Step number 2 is to test them at least once a month. And the third step to be fire smart is to make sure that you change the batteries when necessary. Precaution number 2. Cooking is the number 1 cause of home fires. To be fire smart, make sure that you stay in the kitchen when you are cooking. If you have to leave the kitchen, make sure that you turn the burner off on the stove. Make sure that you also keep things that can burn away from the cooking area. And lastly, turn the pot handles toward the back of the stove so that as you or any of your family members walk past, they won't get bumped and fall over. Precaution number 3. Be ready in case the power goes out. To be fire smart, make sure that you have a flashlight or battery-powered lighting source on hand, as well as a supply of different size batteries. Lastly, be cautious if you or your family are using candles. Precaution number 4. To be fire smart, plug space heaters and other heat-producing appliances securely in an electrical outlet. If the space heater does not have an automatic shut-off, turn it off when you leave the room and when you go to bed. Consider instead using extra layers of clothing and blankets to stay warm. And lastly, be sure to keep emergency heat sources at least 3 feet away from you and other objects. If you take a look at the picture, you will see the dog standing close to that space heater. He is not 3 feet away from that space heater, and neither is that laptop bag. So you want to be careful and make sure that you keep things at least 3 feet away from any heating source so that you will not cause a fire. Precaution number 5. To be fire smart, have a qualified professional clean and inspect both your chimney and the vents that the heat blows out of every year. You want to be sure to keep wood stove doors and fireplaces closed unless you are actually adding wood or pellets to keep the fire burning. Lastly, you want to store cooled ashes in a tightly covered metal container and keep it outside at least 10 feet away from your home. Precaution number 6. To be fire smart, make sure that you keep portable generators outside, away from your windows, and as far away as possible from your home. Precaution number 7. To be fire smart, you want to create and practice your home fire escape plan at least twice a year. You want to make sure that you plan at least 2 ways out of your home in case of an emergency. Precaution number 8. To be fire smart, check to be sure that your house number, that's your address, can be seen from the street. If you need help, you want to be sure that firefighters are able to find you and your family. Precaution number 9. To be fire smart, make sure that if we have inclement weather, such as snow or ice, that you clear the driveway and the front walkway to provide easy access to your home. And lastly, precaution number 10. Stay away from down wires. To be fire smart, if you see a wire such as the one in the picture right in front of this little boy, you're going to be fire smart and report that to the nearest adult so that they can call authorities. And in Memphis, we call Memphis Light, Gas, and Water. This is the company that is also called MLG&W. This is who we report a down wire to. This concludes our third fire safety announcement. Now, scholars, remember that practice makes perfect. Practice reduces panic and injuries. Your homework tonight is to ask your family to go to our school's YouTube page this evening and view our 10 safety tips so that we can make sure that as your family stays warm this winter, everyone is safe and fire smart. In our school-wide events and activities, First, scholars, I want to remind you that tomorrow is the day where we will represent our favorite college or NFL team in combination with our Jeans Day as our benchmark participation reward makeup day since we were out of school on last Friday. I also want to remind you that you just have one more day, just one more day to turn in the letter that you are going to write to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., telling him about what you learned after reading about his life or listening to a video or reading a passage that your teacher has provided to you this week in honor of Black History Month. And lastly, scholars, we are going to have so much fun on next Friday as we have our Bobcat Bonanza that will be a combination of our celebrating for Valentine's Day and our celebration of good behavior. I truly hope that you have been following our school-wide rules of being respectful, responsible, and ready to learn. If you want to know if you are eligible to go to the Bobcat Bonanza, you cannot. Let me say that again, scholars. You cannot get a letter home to your parents in your conduct folder, or you cannot be referred to the office to see Ms. White. If you come to the office or if you get that parent letter, that means that you have more than 4 tallies. You get a parent letter at tally number 5. So that will let you know if you are in the running to celebrate with us. And if you remember our last Bobcat Bonanza, you were given the hour of free time where you were able to get on the computer and go to YouTube, watch your favorite videos, play some games with your classmates. That was a fun-filled time. But, scholars, we have something even more special planned for you this month. I truly, truly hope that you have been following our school-wide rules of being respectful, responsible, and ready to learn. Remember, every day we're building brilliant Bobcats because we are raising the bar by believing in ourselves, achieving our goals, and reimagining our future. We will conclude our announcements with our victory roar. Say it with me. Together we must believe. Together we will achieve. Together we are reimagining 901. Have a fantastic day of teaching and learning.